carcinogen, empty bottle shelf, my pain again. Guess I thought it might change this time around. You know, I bet it was obvious to the circle outside of you and me, but I was lost in us. Got caught in the rhythm and it tripped me up. Yeah, it tripped me up. You know, it fucked me up, the poison consequence. So go ahead now. I know what I was to you, a house of cards I stacked untrue. So get out of this town. She don't know you like I do. Joker that'll make you a fool. Joker that'll make you a fool. Voodoo lady with a spoonful of honey, sugarcoat the truth, take all my money.
Madeline Hawthorne, look at you.
Hello.
So first of all, we were talking off camera that your guitar got wet.
Yes.
Is that not, and I'm not a musician, but does that not just hurt the instrument?
I guess that kind of depends. I mean, this guitar, which was made here in Bozeman, Montana, it's been on the road with me for probably the last 7 years, and it's been through a lot. So I was telling you that last night I was recording my music video for my new song, Neon Wasteland.
Right.
We were in Livingston, Montana. It was probably like 9:30 or 10, and a rainstorm came in, and we tried to play it through. So my guitar got super wet. But we ran into a parking garage, and I just wiped it off. And I mean, we'll see how it sounds right now. I haven't played it since late last night, but fingers crossed. They're pretty hardy, you know. Yeah,
I love it, Madeline. And yeah, like you mentioned, Neon Wasteland, the single's available now. It's a heck of a song from your upcoming album.
thank you.
Congrats. The whole living in Montana thing, because it's fascinating to me. And what I love about Madeline is you went out to Montana way before it was cool. Like way before anyone because now it's like, oh,
Way before Yellowstone was out.
oh my God, like years before. And no, people now are like, oh, Montana, the pandemic was the place to be. But like you've been on it from the beginning. How did you know Montana was the place for you, Madeline? You know, you were young, you didn't have as much momentum as you have now. Most artists would gravitate to a place like Nashville or LA. What tells you inside this is the place for me?
Oh, I followed a boy out here. That's what got me out here. And we're still together now. So I was drawn to the West. I wanted adventure. I lived in a small town in New Hampshire. I just really needed something different, and fell in love with this boy and followed him out to Bozeman, and we've been here for the last 16 years, just exploring and building a life and a family out here. And I don't see myself leaving. It's a really special place.
Yeah, you look so at peace. Like you look just like so at peace with yourself. You radiate great energy, Madeline. I got to tell you. And at this boy that you mentioned, your husband, you know,
He's a man now.
he's a man now. He grew from a young toddler that Madeline followed.
Montana turned him into a man.
So are you guys still traveling on tour when you go on tour with him?
He comes as much as possible. We are leaving tomorrow to head up north to the Panhandle of Idaho, and I'm playing at a mountain resort up there. And the special part about this weekend and why he's coming is because it's our 5-year wedding anniversary on Friday. So we're making a special trip out of it. We're gonna sneak our dogs into the hotel. Don't tell Phil. And we're gonna make a nice trip out of it. So he comes when he can, and then other times he's got to stay home and take care of the house and the dogs and the garden and all the other stuff we've got going on. So
Yeah.
we try and make like a balance. It's tough being away from your partner, but he's a top cookie. He can handle it.
Amazing. So he's, partner, tour manager, all of the above.
We during the music video yesterday, he came and he was helping me with my wardrobe, and he was holding his speaker up so I could hear the song, so I could sing along with it. I mean, yeah, he's a real gem. I'm glad that I followed him out here.
Yeah. It looks like you followed the right way. He's making us all look like, we're like, man,
spread.
Yeah, we're like, I should probably pick up my mail. It's been accumulating for a month, and your husband is like, racing a boy, got a rising star, like sweet mother. God. Anyway, but I digress, Madeline. And you're such a good singer. You're on top of your game, and you're also so good at doing covers, Madeline. I mean, do you ever get intimidated at some of these songs? I mean, like when you cover Jason Isbell, who you opened up for example.
Yeah.
To me, as a non-singer, like it seems like a tough task. Do you ever get intimidated with like these big songs?
I connect with them more, and I feel like to cover someone else's song is honestly, I think it's a way to honor them. There is some pressure to make sure that you want to get the words right and you want to get the feel right in case, hey, what if that person winds up hearing you play their song? But yeah, I see it more as a way to honor the songwriter. And I hope people cover my songs someday. I think that'd be really cool.
Yeah, I'm sure they will. I'm sure they will, Madeline. Speaking of like, just your trajectory, I mean, you've dabbled with your sister as a band in Hawthorne Roots before. The fact I was thinking about this, have you ever embraced the idea of having like a band full time now, Madeline? I mean, I've always wondered if being a solo artist, and I'm not an artist, this is just like thoughts that come to my head, versus being, it can just kind of like shift like the creative pressure, like maybe when you're not in a time of like creativity, you know what I mean? Like as a creative that you are, how would you compare the two dynamics?
So I have a band, and I'm liking the balance that's happening right now where I'm playing, I would say currently it feels like 75% of my shows with the band and then 25% solo. And that's a really nice mix. I do write all of the songs still. But we'll see what happens in the future, because sharing in that creative process can result in some really great songs. So, all you have is what's here. And when you share that with other people and bring other ideas in, it can be complicated, but you can also come up with some really great songs. So I'm trying to find that balance now with this new, ever since I went solo and left the Hawthorne Roots, I've just been trying to figure out what's the best combination to be able to be creative and to be nimble and to move around and play as much as possible and create as much as possible in a positive way.
Yeah, that makes total sense. Madeline. And so, like, this new song, Neon Wasteland, which is so damn good. I mean, the creative, you mentioned it. You don't have that sort of mindset where it's like every day I'm gonna sit down and force myself to write, right? Like, or is it like when life happens to you? Like
Yeah.
What's your creative?
It changes, and I think it all depends on what's going on in my life. So when I'm on the road every day, I bring a journal with me, and I'm not writing songs every day if I can't find that space, but I'm always trying to be paying attention to what's going on around me and get little notes, or if somebody says something that sounds like it could turn into a good song. I'm like, I'm taking that. I'm taking that line. So, and then when I have breaks, I try and bring a lot of those ideas back. And so I kind of write in intensive periods of time. So, I'll have some time off this fall, and what I'll probably do is rent myself a cabin. I've done this every year for the last 3 or 4 years, and just go there by myself for 2 or 3 nights and just write as much as I can in that space without any contact from the outside world. And then start to work on those songs, see which ones kind of sound like they might be worth editing, and then other times, if there's a song that pops into my head, I sit down and write it. So it's kind of a mix, but it's so far it seems to be working. So just
I love that about the Madeline. So you'll get a cabin, probably
yeah,
no or cell phone signal,
yeah,
right? No kids, no husband, no
right.
iPads.
Oh,
Wow, that's so interesting. And so it's almost like, man, we should all do that. It's almost like who is Madeline Hawthorne this year versus like last year. It's like a check-in of views of this
oh
person.
yeah, yeah, 100%. It's a very cathartic experience, and sometimes it can be really challenging, but I think it's a good way to check in. So I highly recommend it. Just bring all your food, bring enough wine or whatever it is you need to get into the creative headspace, and just have at it. It's fun. I'm gonna hit.
Yeah.
Of course, my phone is like gonna die. That's the classic Montana thing. Is we're just out here in the country and we don't make sure our stuff's working. But I think it should be good.
Are good, Madeline. So this new album that you're making on, like, that Neon Wasteland is gonna be part of. Tell me about it, because Boots, it's such a wonderful collection, Madeline. I mean, Joker, Rein It In, we had them on repeat the other day. We were like dancing with our pets, I mean, for hours. It
Oh,
sounds, it's like, it sounds amazing, but just on this little sample of this new single, it sounds like you're kind of evolving sonically. Would that be accurate to say?
yeah. It feels like it. Yeah, Neon Wasteland feels like the next step in the progression since Boots. And I love Boots. Boots is like, such an important record to me because it was my first one that I made on my own. And I think, that album is part of the reason why I'm getting to sit here and talk to you right now, which is so awesome. It's given me a lot of opportunity, including being able to use that to help me get to this next step of the second record. And I got to work with one of the same musicians from Boots, the same drummer who also recorded the record. He was at the studio with me in Washington at Bear Creek Studios, where we made this new record. And the studio itself was phenomenal. They had incredible equipment. It was a really great team that we got to work with. Ryan Hadlock, the producer, did an incredible job. So I think having access to Ryan's producing skills, having access to that incredible studio, and then I think myself, my songwriting process changed. Maybe I used some different tools, or just went out writing the songs in a kind of different way that feels it feels still like me, and it feels like a progression of Boots. Like you can still hear that elements, the songwriter, the folk, the roots in the rock, but maybe has I don't know, just a slightly different energy and perhaps a more mature energy to it.
Yeah, no, it's I dig the taste. So for sure, we can't wait for the new one. Well, Madeline, I know that amazing. I know you have a busy day ahead, and that you may play a song for us. But let me ask you. Let me leave you with this. I mean, strong women are big influences in your musical career. I mean, Sheryl Crow, Brandy Carlisle, and I mean, in my opinion, women are making some of the badass music right now. I mean, you included.
Thank you.
What is like? Yeah, no, absolutely. But like, what is your opinion? Because the Tennessean, the newspaper here, recently released kind of an article. They listened to radio for like 24 straight hours, and there's still all kinds of shit going on with like misogyny and music. Like, they will not play like 2 straight songs in the same hour, like ever. Stuff like that. Why do you think that is? I know it's a heavy question, but everyone agrees that like Casey Musgraves, everyone is like Madeline, the best music is coming from females right now, or the most impactful, and yet there seems to be like some sort of like barrier to the mainstream. Like, what are your thoughts on this?
That's so interesting, and I can't tell you why. I mean, I'm not the one who makes those decisions as far as why aren't we hearing more than one female Singer-Songwriter. Why are we hearing two of those songs in a row? Maybe it's just taking the big wigs in the industry a little bit longer to catch up than everybody else, and maybe they should catch up a little bit faster because there's so much good music coming from both men and women. So let's hear it all. Yeah, I wish that more songs from women were played on the radio, and I think we would hear a lot more variety. Like, but again, why do the decision makers lean towards playing more of male country music? I don't know, but I'm just out here trying to work hard, do my best, stay positive, and promote more women in the music industry.
You're like, damn it, Jamie, why did you have to leave with something simple like politics or you know what? But you're like such a profound artist that, you know, we're interested in all your takes, not just you know, cabins in the woods. But anyway,
Sure.
okay, so thank you for playing a song for us. What are you playing? And also remind us when you're playing in Americana Fest.
Okay, yeah, I'm so excited to come to Nashville and hang out. I've got 2 sets on Thursday. My official showcase is Thursday, September 21st, and that is going to be at the Fine Spot in East Nashville, which I love hanging out in East Nashville. It's such a great community over there. So that's going to be at 7 o'clock. And then we're doing a One Big Love music festival earlier that day. And I think just look up One Big Love Festival and all of the information will be there as far as location and what other artists are going to be playing. And then I also have an acoustic set at John's house, spelled Jaan. And that sounds like it's going to be a really funky environment to play music. And I would just look up John's house again, Jaan. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. And that's going to be on Friday, the 20th. And then the rest of the time, I'm going to be listening to music and seeing how much Southern food I can eat before I leave and come back to Montana.
Oh my God, I love, you're going to be a very busy and popular girl that week. So I'm sure we'll catch one of your sets. But
Awesome. Cool. Well, I was thinking maybe I'll play Neon Wasteland for you. I was just working on that song last night in Livingston, shooting a music video for it. And I strongly encourage people to go and stream the full band version online. Playing it for you with my acoustic guitar and sitting in this room. This is where I wrote the song. This is where I write most of my songs when I'm not in my little cabin. And it seems appropriate. So this is Neon Wasteland. And thanks again so much for having me.
Open eyes, heavy bones, tired mind, dead weight, sleep deprived, worked 3 jobs, got no time. Picks up a picture not so long ago, looking at a girl but she don't even know. Everything is bringing her down, living on sidelines, stuck in this town. She needs a break, could use a hand. She's all alone in this neon wasteland. Yeah, she misses all the trees, quiet nights and gentle breeze. Now it's bright lights, busy days, always moving, always working late. Friends back home, they're getting hitched and having kids. She said she needed more, she didn't picture this. Everything is bringing her down, living on the sidelines, stuck in this town. She needs a break, could use a hand. She's all alone in 2 years, sweat and tears, then it disappears without a goodbye. Up to her ears in his past due bills, written in her name, got no one to blame. Everything was bringing her down, living on the sidelines, stuck in this town. She needs a break, could use a hand. She's all alone in this neon wasteland. Oh, neon wasteland, yeah. Tomorrow is a Saturday. She's going to the river to wash some blues away. Opens the door to her dismay. The tires flat on a rusty Chevrolet. She don't cry, she don't pray. Oh, it's the same damn song, just a different day. Everything's bringing her down, living on the sidelines. So sick of this town. She needs a break, could use a hand. She's all alone in this neon wasteland. Oh, neon wasteland, yeah. You gotta get it right. Whoa, you gotta get it right. Yeah.
What a jam, Madeline. Sweet. So good. And it's going to be so good live. Thank you, Madeline. Appreciate you.
Appreciate you as well. Thanks again so much for having me. It's great. Great to chat about music, and I really appreciate you sharing the new song and getting people excited for Nashville. Sounds like I'll be seeing you in a few weeks.